आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
On the 10th of January 1616, England's first official ambassador to India, Thomas Roe, came to the court of Mughal Emperor Jahangir at Ajmer. Although his 4-year-long negotiations with Jahangir didn't prove successful, the visit marked the beginning of British economic and political interest in the Indian subcontinent.
Roe arrived at the port of Surat in September 1615 with a letter from King James I to the then reigning Mughal Emperor Jahangir seeking a trade agreement. Determined that his arrival to the Mughal Empire should be an occasion of dignity and splendour, Roe did not leave the ship for a full week, mainly due to arguments over customs searches. He finally made the journey to Ajmer, where he was presented to the Emperor Jahangir on the 10th of January 1616. Roe was vexed to discover that the Mughals regarded relations with the English as a very low priority. On arrival, he was showed into a substandard accommodation.
Roe lived in the Mughal Empire until the 17th of February 1619, during which time he laboured to improve England's reputation among Mughal officials and tried desperately to obtain a royal farman for permanent trade. He eventually returned to England in 1619 without the trade agreement.
We also remember freedom fighter Narhari Vishnu Gadgil, who was born on the 10th of January 1896 in Malhargarh, Madhya Pradesh. Popularly known as Kaka Saheb Gadgil, he was an erudite lawyer and an outstanding literary figure. Gadgil was influenced by great freedom fighters including Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Mahatma Gandhi and Vallabhbhai Patel.
Spiritual leaders Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Vivekananda also made a deep impression on him. For his active participation in the national freedom movement, he was imprisoned 8 times by the British.
Gadgil joined the Indian National Congress immediately after obtaining his law degree. He served as the secretary of Pune District Congress Committee in 1920. Later, he became the president of Maharashtra Pradesh Congress Committee. He was elected to the Central Legislative Assembly in 1934. Gadgil was a pioneer in social reform movements in Maharashtra in the 1930s.
After independence, Gadgil served as a minister in the first Central Cabinet of India between 1947 and 1952. He held the portfolios of public works and mines and power. He is credited with initiating the project of building a military-caliber road between Pathankot to Srinagar via Jammu and Kashmir as a part of strengthening India's hold over the region during and after the 1947 Indo-Pakistan War. He also initiated important development projects including Bhakra, Koyna and Hirakud dams. Gadgil also served as the governor of Punjab.
Gadgil was a prolific writer and wrote several books and articles on politics, economics, law, history, oratory, etc. His important works include Pathik and Raja Shastra Vichar. For his great contribution to Marathi literature, he was elected president of the Marathi Sahitya Sammelan in 1962. He remained committed to the welfare of the public till his death on the 12th of January 1966.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.